Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Material written by all the finalists continues tonight. That is late outside, everybody. Team out. Brother, yet again. Speaker room, right?
Yep, it's gonna go. There it is.
This makes such a good point. It's such a nice thing for the show to do the original songs. You guys seen covers all season long come out here, wrote these songs. So just kudos to all four of you. Let's get some comments. Christina, what's up with you?
Yeah, that was, it is really cool to see all of you do your own original songs that you guys wrote.
You know, you go to the top of a hill and there's always another hill.
Some of it on the guitar, and I love the bluesy sort of
I think it is on the
slow
ground.
jam bit of it. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
Thanks, Christina Perel. Man, listen, what a great original. So cool to like break the rules and have.
Hello? Anybody there?
You know, be featured right now with all these people watching. Amazing chord changes. The solo into that crazy, amazing chord change. Awesome. Listen, everybody go. Are you going to vote for him? Yes. But go buy that song now. The 4-1 Storm Team weather update.
Well, tornado on the ground now north of Woodward. Let's go to Bennett Stream here live. Let's take this pull. Tornado on the ground. This has been on the ground here for about 10 or 15 seconds. This is north, actually right up Highway 34, due north of Woodward, drifting slowly north. Tornado there continues on the ground. Go Mike Bennett.
Okay, Mike, yeah.
It's not very strong right now. It's, tell you what, the motion of this wall cloud makes me believe it's going to produce a pretty strong tornado. In fact, it's strengthening as we speak right now. It's solid. We've got conversations solidly on the ground. We've been watching this for the last 10 minutes. It just keeps getting tighter and tighter. And finally, boom, here we go, tornado on the ground. It looks like the tornado is moving northeast. I believe it's in open catcher side right now. Anyway, it's probably going to cross Highway 34. It's probably going to be a little bit. This thing has just been hanging back there just west of Highway 34 for 10, 15 minutes. And so it may be just a little while. But anybody in the path of this, anybody north of Moreland, anybody north of Woodward needs to get to your storm shelter now. Back to you.
So this is to the west of Highway 34, and it is going to be exactly 2 3/4 miles to 3 miles north of Woodward. But again, it's west of 34, and it's moving due northward here at about 3 to 4 miles an hour. But it's a fairly good-sized tornado here, and it's been on the ground for now about 3 minutes. We broke in just as it started to touch down, and it's actually west of 34, so it's due north of downtown Woodward. So it continues on the ground. Looks like it's in no big hurry to cross 34 at all, Mike. Still west of 34, traveling due northward. So if anything, it's heading up into southern Harper County. Go.
Actually, Mike,
the tornado right now is actually drifted back to the south just a little bit. So I think what's happening is the tornado, now we're at multiple vortex. The tornado is rotating around the mesocyclone, and it stalled for just a minute. It started moving back to the south, and then it looks like it stalled again. It's probably going to lift back to the northeast as it rotates around this mesocyclone. But we got rapid rain currents well off to the northeast of it, and multiple vortex at times we got a solid cone on the ground. Back to you.
Okay. Anything, it does look like it is getting larger, so potentially could head up into southeastern Harper County, but right now it is on the west side of 34. Mike Bennett, would you agree? Would you say it's right at about 3 miles due north of Woodward here on the west side of 34? Can you confirm that?
Yeah, Mike, I'm going to say about
3 to 4 miles west. I'll tell you what, I think we're about 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles north of the North Canadian River is where we're at. And the tornado is going to be about a mile west of Highway 34, maybe a mile and a half west. And we're just sitting there watching it, just waiting on the, across the highway right here in front of us. We'll be right. I mean, we're going to be within, probably a half mile of it when it actually does cross Highway 34. But right now, it's kind of hanging there in that same area, same general area, and it just keeps spinning. The tornado, I believe, is still on the ground because the rotation of the cloud base is so rapid right now. don't have a condensation tunnel on the ground, and I just cannot see over the hilltop there to see if we have dust on the ground. Back to you.
Yeah, had a decent little debris swirl there for a while. Still could have section stock in contact with the ground. It may have temporarily lifted. It could be either way, but at any rate, there's a pretty good sized bowl funnel cloud there, and there could still be little suction stock on the ground. But right now, it may have
No, he's not.
Coming down right there. Yeah, it's still on the ground. It's still on the ground there. Yeah, look at that redeveloped. Wow, right back down on the ground. You're looking at it live here. Again, this is a mile west of 34, 3 miles north, 3.5 miles north of downtown Woodward, and about 2.5 miles north of the river. And showing some strength now in that vortex. Go Mike Bennett.
Okay, yeah, Mike. It's kind of lifted a little bit again. It's about 3/4 way to the ground. But I mean, you guys got to call it still on the ground because there's probably dust swirls on the ground, vortices on the ground. But it goes from multiple vortex to a large stone, back to a multiple vortex. Now here we go back on the ground again, solid. And it's staying in that same area. I mean, our camera angle really has not changed. This big tornado. It moves north and then moves south, and then moves north and stalls. And so it's going to be a little while before it crosses Highway 34. I'm looking up north of the highway here, and it looks like there may be some farms just north of about a mile, from what I can tell. So anybody up in that area needs to take this seriously and get to your storm shelter.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the tracker here. You folks in Woodward, it is moving very slowly. Drifting very slowly away from you, but again, just a drift, maybe a mile or 2 miles per hour right now. If anything, it's just kind of sitting and spinning. About a mile west of 34, 3.5 miles due north of downtown Woodward. It may or may not ever cross 34, but right now it's kind of sitting and spinning, trying to drift very slowly to the north. Let's go back to Mike Bennett's live stream, and we're going to check back with the voice here coming up. But while the tornado's on the ground, let's get an update from Mike. Mike?
Mike back on the ground again. Large cone on the ground. It's the cone is real wide. It's a cloud base on the ground. From my vantage point, I'm probably about a mile, maybe a mile and a half west of it. Can't get any close to the mist right now. But I'm going to tell you that the contact on the ground is probably in the neighborhood of maybe 100 yards wide. Maybe 100 to 200 yards wide. That's when it's a single cone. Mike, I just got confirmed by my change partner, we're 3 miles north of Woodward. Back to you.
Appreciate that. Pretty good sized tornado here. This is going to be about 7.5 to the southeast of Fort Supply. It's quite a ways to the southeast of Buffalo. And again, 3 miles north of Woodward, about 2.5 to 3 miles north of the river. There's a pretty good sized cone tornado there. If anything, it's getting stronger. I don't think it's getting weaker. It's been multi-vortex at times, and that is at least 100 yards wide, according to Mike Bennett. So you're looking to the west of Highway 34, so still west of 34, lifting very slowly. But Mike really hadn't moved much at all, perhaps drifting very slowly to the north.
Mike, I don't think it's really moved at all. But we got wrapping rain curtains that extend probably, I will tell you this, rapid rain curtains are probably another mile to the northeast of the actual tornado. So we got that rain curtain wrapping that far around the mesocyclone. They're going to kind of wrap back into it. So it's a big rotation. The tornado's not that big. It looks like a fairly strong tornado, but the mesocyclone is quite a bit bigger than what the tornado is producing. Back to you.
Well, we're just real glad this is not, down in the city limits of Woodward, because it just hasn't moved very much, so it wouldn't be, be producing, some damage for sure, given the fact that it's kind of sitting over the same area and not moving any one direction at all very quickly. So in other words, some locations here west of 34 have seen tornadic conditions now.
Hey, Mike,
10 minutes.
I'm going to go north and try to go east a little bit.
Since the tornado itself is not really moving. Notice it keeps changing shape. Still basically a cone tornado, about 100 yards wide, some cases a little bigger than that. Shows no sign here of lifting anytime real soon. Again, look at west here, 34, 3 miles due north of Woodward, about 2.5 to 3 north of the river, and the tornado continues on the ground. Go Mike Bennett.
Okay, Mike, I'll tell you what, it's about as big as it's been since it began. We're probably close to 200, maybe 300 yards wide now. Just judging on the part of the tornado that's in contact with the ground. I do have a hill that's just obscuring the view to the ground level, but this tornado is being stronger now than it has since it started. And it's actually,